mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading fundamental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at My Son's Teas, the tea of teas, divinely prepared at herbsofmyaunt.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Bay at bhbaymusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out morrishaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Morris drip, be sure to check out moresachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
No such thing as failure, baby. Don't forget who made you. You can't be thinking minor when you need to be thinking major. They made you think they saved you, but it can't nobody save you.
Peace, love, light, and welcome to another BBT, Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, Sunday School, with the one and only, the Honorable Sheikh Kyrie Goodman, El Bay, Islam Sheikh.
Man, peace, 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 and love and light to you, brother. Peace and love and prosperity to everyone here on social media. Just peace. How you doing, man?
Same thing this way, Sheikh, just trying to exemplify, that peace, trying to definitely garner, that understanding, in the walk, each and every day, just trying to get better, trying to get stronger. Islam.
And that's what I always talk about, man, in this world. Yesterday, we did a little teaching about some history. I don't know if you ever had a chance to check it out. But we talked about a good topic yesterday. And when I was doing the topic, I got a couple of people to respond, which is good. But I got a lady to start hitting me up. And she was like, can I be your moderator? Because she like, I'm seeing what you see. And I'm like, what? And I just wanted to share this before we get started. She like, a lot of these men have mental health issues. She like these grown men that say they study more science is arguing over this and that. And that's not more science. We hear a bunch of men that should have something in common arguing over semantics. Arguing. It's like, dude, that's not what this is. It's just like Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, Ivan Van Sertima. Those brothers weren't arguing with each other. They was illuminating Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda. You can see all those brothers on Tony Brown's journals when they was lecturing together. And that's what I do. But social media, when I say you have to have tough skin in my field, because this is not common to the average Negro. Most Black people like confrontation, religious things too. That's why we're so confused. But I just try to bring stuff that I was able to talk about on campus, lecture on campus, getting my dual master degrees in religious history from Grand Canyon University, and also bringing things to a whole forefront, but showing brothers and sisters how to love each other, showing brothers and sisters how our mental, the way we treat each other, especially Moors, is messed up. I'm sorry. So with that being said, yesterday we talked about how the Iroquois' great law of peace shaped U.S. democracy. And I don't know if I sent you that piece of information. I'll send that to you real fast, Dantes, because I just wanted to highlight that. And you can look at that yourself. It's going to be some in that piece of document. You're going to be like, whoa, Sheikh. These are the things that I was able to speak on in college campus and academia when I say this stuff is known, just like I'm from Flint, and so a lot of those people in Flint, those tribes, the Iroquois Confederate, consisted of 5 separate nations, which was the Mohawks, who called themselves Kananakia, or people of the Flint country, people of the Flint country. And then when you see in Flint, you have streets called Seneca, all these tribes, because it was the fate keepers of the Turtle Clan of the Seneca nations. So when you start seeing this stuff, you start seeing America. And that's what I'll be wanting to make known to brothers and sisters. Like, wait a minute, man. We need to have a clear understanding, because more science is not what we think it is. It's not a whole bunch of brothers on the internet debating who's some supreme grandness or try to overthrow the government or anything, man. It just shows sometimes the energy that a lot of men have, you know, and there's many of prophets and angels in the flesh. There's many prophets and angels in the flesh. That's like if you go to an area and they got a God man or a holy man, you're gonna diss their holy man. I give credit to Noble Drew and all those people, but that's where it stops, because I'm in the flesh. We give gratitude as we should. So today we're gonna talk about. Oh, and I'm gonna send you this. I'm sorry, I didn't send you this one. I'm gonna be illuminating a little bit through this piece of research too, Dante. And I'm about to send it to you real fast as we speak it. I like to do stuff in real time. Oh, peace and love, Noble Mansa Love Musa. If that's your name, peace and love and light to you. Peace and love to your family. I know I need to use that. I'm gonna try it.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Do we need to pull that first link up?
I just sent you some about the secret of wealth, and we can just go through that. You can have it up. You don't have to, but you can, because you might want to read along and you might want to add something to the cipher as we're going, because you know, with me, everything is always open.
It's long.
But I don't like to use the word secret. I like to call it sacredness. You know, sacredness. You know, and as we get started, our prophet Noble Drew, he said he gathered, compiled, and divinely prepared. So if we gather, if Dante has gathered, compiled, and divinely prepared, that means he gathered from the source. Just like in academia, I say give credit to the original thought. That's a reference in the right way. And when the prophet write and when I write, it's already referenced from the interjection, from the cover. It's nothing new under the sun. The Noble Drew, the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Moorish Quran is constructed from the Brahmin text, the Vedas, unto the Grant, the Akashic records. It's a plethora of wisdom. The Bible, the Vedas, all that. So when people come with these things, I'm like, maybe you're just not illuminating enough. And this is no Crips and Bloods. This is no game, you know? And that's what I be telling people. This ain't no street stuff. You may have some people that was from the streets or went to prison that got into the science, but that ain't what I promulgate. And we shouldn't be arguing with each other. We should be breaking down wisdom. And so once you know yourself, the next thing we should be talking about wealth and talking about finance. Because I'm so tired of hearing these boys talk about fiat. And I say, okay, well, how do you pay for where you stay? Do you live in a neighborhood? Yes. Do you have clothes on your back? Yes. So who paying for it? Are you on welfare? Is your wife paying for it all? What are you doing to make a living? It's some type of commerce being dealt. We have to be honest. And that's the thing with a lot of men, they don't want to be honest in this science, and you have to be. It's a must. So I talk about the sacredness of wealth and the philosophy and practice of acquiring wealth and the experience of the ages in accumulation of money and property, understanding these things. When we talk about Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19, wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. How can anybody with a straight face tell you money is the root of all evil? How? With a straight face? How? No, you evil, and you do evil things with that vessel. But money can't be the root to all evil. It's nothing until it's in the hand of an individual. But the way to wealth is a plan as the way to market. And it depends on two words, industry and frugality. You know, being frugal, that is, waste neither time nor money, but make the best of both. When I talk about the balance, when I talk about the Maya per se, in this context, and without industry and frugality, nothing will do. With them, everything crumbles. And I'm just giving a highlight before we get into a couple bullets. But as a man, as a woman chooses his coat for its wearing qualities, or for the moment's passing wind, so does he chooses his destiny. And the responsibility and the result lie with the chooser. Each living person chooses, and each hour that passes fixes the choice deeper and deeper in his daily life. When I be seeing these more and the level they be on, or the so-called moral science, and they be arguing with people, and I be like, I feel sorry for the kids, and I definitely feel sorry for the wise. So why are you wasting your time dealing with somebody that you don't even agree with? It's something mentally crazy with these individuals. And social media shows that. Wealth is a state of mind, or perhaps would be better to say that wealth is created through a state of mind. So if wealth is created through a state of mind, you must do one thing first, and that's educate yourself on what? The tool that you want to acquire. If few people get rich or acquire riches at a single stroke. Most people who become rich, they grow rich. And the growth and the development of a personal fortune is sometimes scarcely noted by the busy man or the woman, who is thus almost unconsciously growing rich. Watch this. The acquiring of money and property, once begun, is a simple and easy process, because growing rich comes through habits that are such fixed parts of one's daily life that once on the road to wealth, it would be quite difficult, if not wholly impossible, to stop the growth. You have to think about these things different. And if you live according to what nature requires, you will never be poor. And if according to the notions of men, you will never be rich, because you're around the wrong people that's not exuding wealth. They're not talking wealth. They're talking basketball, LeBron James, P. Diddy, football. This is especially detrimental to you and I, that we live not according to the light of reason, but after the fashion set by others. Peace, Noble Malik.
Peace.
Peace,
I was telling them about our amazing workout earlier, man. That's a part of our culture and life. We have to do that. But these thoughts from Lucius Annaeus Seneca, who was born in Rome before the year 1, it is easy to see that the same things keep people poor in those days as in our own time. And the principles of living well and happily and gradually acquiring wealth have not changed a whit since year 1. Peace and love, Noble Brian.
Peace, Noble Brian.
Yeah.
Peace,
Let's talk about it.
peace,
Peace.
peace, Malik. Peace, fam.
Talk about
But there is, you say what, Malik?
it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. And anybody can add. This is fun. There is no condition into which man may come that is more to be feared by the individual and by society than the condition of poverty. It maddens a good man to crime and drives a madman to destruction. You know this. What? Poverty. The condition of poverty is not a normal one and may quite easily be thrown off by anyone who has health and the will of progress. See, it was Topdides who said this about 425 BC, and I quote, "And of all of poverty is no disgrace to any man. To make no effort to escape it is indeed disgraceful." And nearly 2,000 years later, Oliver Goldsmith said, "To be poor and seem to be poor is a certain way never to rise." So for more than 2,000 years and on to the present, it has been understood that the person who was poor and let it be known and made little or no effort to rise above poverty was largely responsible for his or her own unhappy condition. Think what I'm saying. Watch this. Poverty and pauperism must not be confused. Pauperism. Write this word down. You need to know what this means. You shouldn't confuse the two. Like having empathy and sympathy. Don't confuse the two. Once who has, through misfortune, ill health, or a combination of circumstances, become a pauper, may have left to him no avenue of escape. Understand this. But the pauper is to be pitied and to be helped. Listen to what I'm saying. The poor are those people who spend more than they get, or at least spend all they get. Stay in context. We're not talking about nobody that's mental weak, given this context of how we waste and not living in our higher self with our finances. Stay in the context. Another way to look at it is like this. He or she is poor, whose expenses exceed his or her income. Do y'all agree with that?
Absolutely.
Did y'all catch that?
Yep.
I hope so. When you hear people say they robbing Peter to pay Paul, you know, your expenses. Yeah, Malik. Yes,
You can get it.
absolutely.
I've been there.
And Malik, we have to talk about it. But these men get on here with all these criminal ways. I said, dude, we ain't talking. That ain't what we do.
Right.
That ain't what we do. You know, it's just like this. He is poor whose expenses exceed his income. Now, let's think about these champagne wishes and caviar dreams with these malt liquor expenses. Watch this. I'm gonna give me a Cadillac truck. Okay, so I asked that person, is that Cadillac truck making you some money? Because that Cadillac truck is gonna cost you a couple $1,000 a month just off leasing it and insurance and all that. So are you making if it's bringing value, or are you just driving it just because you want some people to look at you in a Cadillac truck?
Use that thing as a limousine service.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing when you're going on into these things. So that means it's a process. You get to that because you just said a limousine service. So you get to these levels. It's a process. It's a process. And if such a condition should attain long enough, that person would be a pauper. From poverty to pauperism is not a long step. I'll be telling a lot of dudes that live with women, I say, you are an argument away from being a bum. And I tell a lot of grown men this too. I don't care. I'll be telling the truth, man. Listen, tell the truth, shame the devil. Any grown man move in a house with a woman and that ain't your wife, you are an argument away from being a bum or living in your car with all your Jordans, with all your $50,000 worth of clothes. I'm telling people. I'm telling you. These is facts. Poverty. We live poverty. We some poor people mentally. And we take all these messed up behaviors as normal in our society. That's the problem as well. Wealth, ease, comfort, and even contentment are within the reach of all of us, though we all travel different roads towards our selected goals. The path of some of us lie over mountains, where if we have the strength, we may leap from peak to peak of success. But the many of us, the great multitude who travel the level plains, must approach success steadily, rod by rod, mile by mile, day by day, and year by year. When I tell people you should have no expectations, don't live too far, don't live too fast. You live right there in the moment. And that's every day you are creating. And in every life, there are deep ravens, gullies, torrents, which the rash man comes upon unexpectedly, attempts to leap, and in haste, masculates and falls, because the man with judgment anticipates the chaos or the chasm and carefully builds a bridge upon which he crosses in perfect safety. Preparation. What I'm saying is, we live to live. Not one of us is there who does not dream today of climbing something that your heart desires. You'll be lying to yourself. But dreams will end in dreams unless what? We work and plan and sacrifice now. Everybody be talking about, oh, I'm gonna live off the grid on land. What land? What land you gonna go to and build a farm? Where? Oh, I'll do it here. It's local neighborhoods is bylaws, local and state law. Certain stuff you can't do in neighborhoods. You know? So if you are rich, there should be something in this teaching to show you how to do more with your riches and to more fully enjoy your life. Watch this as we begin with a couple of chapters. And if anybody want to add anything, you can. Today, we just wanted to talk about finances, because finances is something that should never be frowned upon. We should have these conversations. Even athletes, they don't have financial literacy. They don't have understanding. They don't understand. A lot of them don't understand gross and net and tax-exempt status when you're part of your religious organization, how you can build your own religious organization in your neighborhood, your own religious community with housing. This is not taught. So the first thing is to understand fiat currency, whatever people be talking about. But money does all things. When I talk about Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19 in the Bible, wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. Read it for yourself. Money does all things, for it gives and it takes away. It makes honest men and knaves, fools and philosophers, and so on to the end of time. But then you may ask yourself, is money wealth? And the number of men and women who can now be laying away small fortunes is almost incredible. And at the same time, they can live well, dress well, and surround themselves and their families with all needful comforts and educational advantages. Watch this. Because money is not wealth. Stay with me. Earning thousands of dollars, bringing nothing to anyone unless it is so spent that while one lives, one may enjoy more fully the good things of life. Because the first of all good things is that one shall have comfort and independence as long as he lives. That means putting money by. So to maintain prosperity is harder than to acquire it. To maintain prosperity is harder than acquire it. Because once you make that first 100 grand, that's it. You're like, okay, would that dude that be shooting a jumper, showing everybody how to shoot the jump shots? You say, oh, I understand it now. You understand it now. Y'all don't hear me. Nowadays, it's easy to earn money. I tell people, I say, what you mean? If you can watch people on Pawn Stars, and they just like right now today, I'm walking around where I stay, and I see this misnomer Mexican man go around every day going to trash, get all this junk and sell it. He got a storage. I do the same thing. I'm just going to do it on a clean level. Fran Safford, I'm showing you how things can be done in a good manifestation. Take the joking out of it and put it in a good manifestation. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Somebody will throw a picture of where they moving out of an apartment, and you will get the picture and put it in your shop or put it somewhere and sell it for $20. Man, that's free money. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And see, if people don't think like that, I do. I got a truck. It's like what you talking about? Acquire some skills, man. What, man? Glaze bathtubs, know how to clean pools. All these skills. This is what I be telling people. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Now we got social media. You put stuff right on offer up, right in your city. Damn, people buy it. You got it for free. And you think collecting junk is something bad, but it's turning a profit while you're doing everything else. Especially when I tell brothers that smoke marijuana and be complaining. I said, dude, do you have an income that's financing that? No. So you taking off your everyday job, your one source of income to pay for something who's smoking up. So when you smoking it up, are you being creative? Are you making 300 times of what you spending when you smoking that marijuana? Hell no. So you being wasteful because you smoking marijuana and you ain't being creative. You just high. And I don't care how nobody be feeling with me. I'll be like, I don't care. You can be mad at me when you smoking marijuana and it costing you $400 a month to smoke weed or $400 a week. Is it bringing you anything? You got an income to do that? No, you peeling off your hard check that you act like you don't have no money because you high as hell.
Yep.
I know, Malik, and people act like they don't have a problem. Yes, you do. If you smoke up $400 worth of weed a week, you times that by 4. That's $1,600 a month.
Gone, blown away, smoked in the air.
Thank you. So when people come to me with that stuff, it's like, man, okay, well, all I do is to get in my creative juices. To do what?
Smoke it off.
Because Yes. Or shall it be spent in buying? See, this is what I tell my brothers. Decisions is to be made as to how money shall be spent. Shall it be spent in buying rainbows, things that mean nothing? Or shall it be spent in buying such necessities as will last? And in buying capital. One thing that we bought that will always last us, Malik, is what? Our land. And we get ready to buy some more. I'm telling you what I know. The man, the woman that owns land is rich. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you. Land ain't gonna never go out of style. We own land.
Nope, so ain't.
Hell, our land. And a man's capital is what he has left after he has fed and clothed himself and paid for the incidentals of life, which include everything from railroad tickets or driving to toothbrushes to whatever you do, to your smoking habits or your drink habits or your whatever it is. I'm not picking on one. I'm just using that as something that a person can say, well, damn, because everybody spend a different amount on their marijuana habit. It's just the truth. Some people,
Or whatever their habit is.
every day. You say what, Malik?
I said, or whatever their habit is.
Yes, that's right. Or whatever it is. Not being conscious of it. Not being conscious of it. And every day, the choice is before every one of us. Here is money. Shall I buy luxury, which I fancy, or shall I buy more capital? Because we can't do both. The difference between the rich man and the poor man is the difference in what he buys with his money. Did y'all catch what I said?
Yep.
When I be talking about the monk life, yes, when I be saying, when people are like, well, Sheik, what you mean the monk life? Listen, man, everything I have to do, it have to be calculated. If I take my Empress out, it have to be calculated because I already calculate shelter, my bills to keep my house, what I have to give out and dish to that. Groceries that I have to provide. My wife ain't the only one that cook and buy groceries and essentials. You know, us as men, we have to learn how to do a lot of things that the women do. I'm learning, certain things, toilet paper and all that. But other things, as a man, we have to make sure things are done. And so I call it a monk life. The monk life, where you enter your science. We have so much clothes. And I ask brothers, you ain't going nowhere like that. So when me and my nobles go places, we have garments that's going to last us forever. We have suits. This is what I'm talking about, decision making. And when we spend money together. That's how you can have things. If something costs $1,000 and you say, damn, man, it costs $1,000, you got to make a hard decision. But you got 10 brothers and all y'all can put $100 together. Because a nigga will smoke $100 worth of weed in a day.
Hands down.
This is the difference from rich and poor. This is what I'm telling people, what we have. How? We can acquire land every couple months if we want to. How? Because I just did the number. We can buy a couple acres every month and have land all over the damn world. $1,000. We got 2 acres here. We got 3 acres here. Why? Because that's just something that we do to build our portfolio. Y'all don't hear me?
I do.
The rich man has bought wealth and position. We are buying position. The poor man has bought trash. Trash, some Jordans. Negro don't hoop, don't work out, but you got some Jordans that match every outfit. Go sit down. And you 50.
Go sit down.
See, I can go to Ross. Ross, I just went to Malik. I just went to Walmart and got me some Avias and a Reebok jogging suit because Shaq got Reebok in Walmart. I just went to Walmart, got me some Avias for $19. They friggity fresh. You hear me? $19.
Oh yeah.
Please.
I don't buy nothing at full price, man. I am a frugal shopper. It just looked like I do.
Exactly. Now Malik. Oh yeah, you the juice is flowing out because you just said something, and I know you know. Because the mistake theory of man who wants to be rich but has not the gumption to be it can't make $1 million honestly, he asks. Whoever says that it's wanting in industry or courage or integrity or aptitude. I asked a brother that smoked marijuana because it ain't nothing wrong with it. I just said it. You want this or that? I know a dude that got an Escalade and be complaining every day like he don't have no money. And I say, you drive around in an Escalade. And I want to open up my shop. That's your shop. People be acquiring, they dream is to drive a car. I'll be like, dude, that's not wealth unless it's making money.
Yeah, that's probably the worst investment you can make is buy a car. Unless it's going to taking you back and forth to your job.
Yeah, and sitting. How is it that some men live in abundance? You ever ask yourself? And have something to spare, while others can scarcely obtain the necessaries of life, and at the same time run into debt.
6, 7.
Come on, think about this. What makes them different from you?
Their choices.
Yes, because brothers got the money. Every year people get their fine. Oh, I just got my taxes. I just got $4,000, $5,000. What you do with it? I don't know. You went and ate some scrampy. You went out to eat every day and bought a whole bunch of clothes. I'm telling you. Ain't no disrespect. It is. It's nothing acquired. There's nothing sitting down. You ain't taking a piece of that, putting it in the storehouse. That's what we do. And how is some men live in abundance and some men suffer? The reason is because the former occupied themselves with their business while the latter neglects it. Because the young man should never hear any language but this. You have your own way to make, and it depends upon your own exertions, whether you starve or not. To put the whole thing into a paradigm, he who would be poor thinks of life as a goblet to be drained instead of a measure to be filled. Remember what I said, your cup should runneth over. People look at it as a goblet to be drained. Oh, I got to drain money. No, instead of a measure to be filled. When I say my cup runneth over, biblical scripture, you want your cup to runneth over so everyone that's around you, they reap those benefits. How you gonna be around me and I'm a multi-millionaire and you talk about you got to go to work for Amazon Plus to drop off some dumb packages? You need to be dropping off packages for me. Understand it. Come on, man. Thrift produced civilization, and thrift began with civilizations. Why do you think they call them thrift stores? Why do you think how you think Goodwill make it? People donate to the Goodwill, and they make millions. Are y'all listening to Sheik?
That's trash to people though, right?
Come on, I'm about to show y'all again. I'm about to do it again. I gave you all storage wars. I told y'all about storage wars. I used to work for my dad for G-Card. I used to go around to all the senior houses and women on welfare, and we used to donate furniture to them to help them. And all the stuff used to be donated from people. I know how to do this. I'm about to do it again for myself. I'm telling you, I'm about to do it again for myself with my own warehouse. I'm about to show the world how this can be done. The same way. And we've been watching storage units and storage wars all this time. I said, why don't y'all finna see it? This stuff is real, because this is how a lot of people shop, especially in Arizona. Let's proceed. Thrift produced civilization. How old is man? There were human beings on the earth 500,000 years ago. The oldest building on the face of the whole earth is the Saqqara pyramid in Egypt, built thousands of years ago.
Mississippi man.
Yeah. Think of a building that was 2,000 years old when so-called Abraham was born. When people, the Bible is, man, the Egyptian history is thousands of years older than this. So we're not even going to go there. In a sealed tomb opened in recent years were found the footprints of men who walked there 3,800 years ago. And the cave savage began to change into the civilized. You know, the Albion, the Trilobite, the caveman, the Neanderthal. No disrespect. Use the proper names. Look what a Trilobite is. Look what an Albion is. Who built buildings where the savage learned to keep things, to accumulate food, to store fuel, to lay away skins for clothing, to hoard the shells which passed for money in those times. You know, they used to say shells or shekels per se. But until the human race grasped the idea, people were nothing more than animals, less intelligent than the bees or the squirrels who do provide for the day in the future. Watch what I say. there was no tomorrow for the savage. Remember, he ate shellfish found on the shore. He killed animals by throwing stones at them. That's their story. He ate what he wanted and the moment and threw away the rest. But when the savage began to make stone arrowheads, he began to keep them and to give them to his sons when he died. And the savage father and mother began to do what? Accumulate skins and weapons. And then they what? Passed them down on their children. We just set the precedent. And each generation gave the next one its gains in the way of art, tilling, soil, making boats, weaving clothes. All that was collected in knowledge or discovery was what? Passed along. Stay with me. We are inheriting the accumulated knowledge of all the millions who have lived and died and turned to dust during the past thousands and thousands of years, brothers and sisters. That's what we do. We unite in the science. Because you ain't see no elders and no scholars like Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, Chancellor Wilson. They were all on Tony Brown's journals, sitting on a panel with each other, illuminating those misnomer African-American students on truth. Wasn't no whole bunch of Moors arguing or this. Man, don't nobody care about that. I don't care about no old food. I don't. It makes me no different. I care about this. And the results of the labor of those who live before us make the world as we see it today. Because thrift is not a natural instinct in human beings. Why? Because, we boast when we spend a lot of money on something, Malik. Man, these jeans cost me a stack. And when I say, hey, man, my jeans cost me $3.99. And I'd be proud. What do you mean your jeans cost $3.99? Because I buy them bulk. And I have purchaser's license. Man, these jeans cost me a stack. And I got how much money you got? Because I got a stack in my pocket.
Sound like a new fool. Spending money that much money on a pair of jeans. That's just done.
Yeah. Think about this now. We're talking about choices. And when we talking about our brothers and sisters that complain, and they be like, man, you fresh as hell.
I spend a stack and have a whole wardrobe.
Yes. It is the outcome of bitter experience, not our own. See, this is what this is about. This is how we stay level. Waste is worse than lost. I said waste is worse than loss. Waste is worse than loss. The time is coming when every person who lays claim to ability will keep the question of waste before him constantly. The scope of thrift is limitless. Just imagine if you say, okay, forget this 9 to 5, and whatever you was good at, you had to create to feed yourself. It'd be a lot of poor people because they don't have the will. After you go to the 9 to 5 job, you come and sit on your rusty dusty. Why? Because you're like, well, I get paid next week. We won't create. And then when the pandemic come again, everybody be in shambles. It's coming again. It's coming. Perhaps the most misunderstood word in the English language is the word economy. Almost everyone will tell you that economy consists of keeping your money instead of spending it. That's BS. That isn't economy at all. And if you did not spend something for food, you will starve to death, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Tell the truth.
Yeah, you would.
Okay, then. So I'm talking about facts.
You look like you know how to fast.
Right. But you got to spend your money on that, on eat, if we just being literal. And if you did not go properly clad, mean dressed, you will freeze to death. And if you did not provide proper shelter for yourself, you will die of exposure to diseases. It is surely clear that economy is something besides keeping your money instead of spending it. I want us to be educated on this. This is the stuff that children must know. When I be telling parents, they be listening to this on their own, and then your kids go through life without the skills, and I'm giving them the skills to use their brain. I'm giving them the skills of reason. I'm giving them the skills of finance. So when they go outside the house, it's someone that can represent them in their best interest. This is what I'm talking about. Understanding, knowing. Someone has said that the people of America have grown rich through extravagances, which in a broad sense, it is true. Americans have grown rich because they have spent their money. And in spending, they may have appeared extravagant to some other people. While as a matter of fact, they were frequently not extravagant at all, but were spending their own money. You hear what I said? Spending their own money. If you spending your own money that you work hard for to look extravagant, you a clown. Spending it wisely and growing richer in the operation. That's what we're talking about. Silly sounding, it's an old English proverb. Remember they say a penny wise is pound foolish. You might not have ever heard of that. It's not silly, but it's a very wise saying, because many people spend so much time holding onto a penny. Watch this science, Malik, that a dollar rolls by the door unseen. Did you catch that? See, they don't even catch it. They don't even know how to get with somebody that's already popping and say, hey man, come to my booth, man. We're gonna buy these products. I'm already booming. You spend this, boom, boom, boom. You're gonna make this. You trying to save 50 cents.
The example is when Jesus gave him the money, right? And then,
yes.
And that one dude buried it. That's why holding on to the penny tight.
Yes. Yes. And in so many ways. There's so many ways, or I want to say this little change, but instead you see something that's happening, and all you got to do is put a little something in it and put some time in it, and you will receive residuals if you want to put the work in.
Yep.
But most of us not. We start and we quit. That's the difference from a lot of people. They doing things. They're like, okay, I'm looking at residuals. Why? Because I'm doing all this, and I got this coming in. You look up in 6 months in a year, you like, damn, 15 grand. Wow, I got to keep doing this. Now you add value to, because true economy is the wise handling of not only our money, but our things. Not only your money, of things. You could, like a person like Malik, he can have an older car, or I can have an older car, and it look just as good as somebody brand new stuff. Or we can have shoes for years. You be like, man, they look brand new. How long you had them? I had these for 10 years. Bull crap, for real? Yeah.
Taking care
when you see his skin glowing, he got a 6-pack, and they like, well, damn, what you do? He like, well, I do this every day. I work on me, taking care of what we have after we have bought, after we have put time in it, constitutes economy. We are economy. See, when I look at a person, I say, oh, I can't invest in you. Why? Because you ain't investing in yourself. You looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick. Your mind is gone. I'm telling you, it takes a special person to do this. And in many households, food is wasted, furniture is abused, clothing is improperly cared for. The house itself is needless, battered up. The recently decorated walls are ugly, soiled, the paint coming off. You know, the kitchen utensils are burned. You go in somebody's kitchen, they microwave, look like they've been cooking damn mud pies. The dishes are cracked and chipped. Clothing not in use, you know, in a proper way. And they represent the most woeful waste. And yet in America, they are the rule rather than the exception. Stay with me. We almost done. I'm only going to go over a couple bullets. The people of America are wealthier on the average than the people of any other nation, largely because America is a country of such wonderful and almost inexhaustible natural resources. Because half of the Americans would die of starvation in any Asiatic country and in almost any European country. Also a people, and as individuals, we might be much richer, and we can be much richer if we will use more wisdom in the care of the things we have and in the spending of our money. If they had the Pampers and all these things back in these days when brothers didn't have nothing, where you would get beat up by the police. And now brothers don't have that problem. We speak freely and we know the religious laws, and we can't even model that. We can't even do that. Come on, man. And you got these people showing you how to scam, and we can't even do nothing righteous to have something for real. Man, we are sick people. And that's what the Bible says. It's called them misnomer black people, stiff-necked, because we would rather be some criminals than do things the right way. And instead of trying to learn to hate the people who are wealthy, we should try to find out how they became wealthy. Only a handful of rich people receive their wealth through legacies. Only another handful made their money through a lucky turn, like the lottery. Still another handful acquired their money through what? Great business, sagacity. But the rank and file of the rich and the number of wealthy people in America is enormous. The great majority of these accumulated their money through wise spending and through taking care of things that they possess. Brothers and sisters, the secret of wealth is buying once for all. And when we buy, we should buy a thing which will last. Like I ask brothers and sisters for Christmas, I say, what did you buy your kids? A whole bunch of toys, a whole bunch of clothes. It's not going to last. Why? The toys going to be tore up tomorrow. The clothes they're going to outgrow in a minute. It's nothing lasts.
Yeah. Toys
Buy
evolve.
something good.
And you grow older, so you don't play with the same things as a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah. Even though it might cost a little more, but you buy something good. Real economy consists of building a house that will last for generations, buying furniture that will last a lifetime, selecting clothes that is good for more than a fleeting season, choosing carpets that can be used by children. Like when people get their walls painted and they use flat base, and I say, you got kids, that flat base is gonna look like you live in a mud house. Why? Because every touch is gonna be on there. And when you wipe it, it's gonna wipe off. You need semi-gloss where you can wipe it off. These are tools. Bought these good things. Economy demands that we take care of it. And there is a pride of ownership in the things that we do. And I just wanted to share that with my brothers and sisters today. The last one, I'll give this last one, and it's about opportunity. Sooner or later comes to all who work and wish. The greatest opportunity ever presented to those people who work for the money they get is before them, just at that time. Because the opportunity to work and work properly performed are the chief pleasures of life. You got to understand it. Watch this. No man in factory or field works harder than a baseball player or a football player. Watch what I'm saying. No man ever put more muscles into play and driving an axe into a log than are put into action by the golfer when he swings his drive. Are y'all still with me?
Absolutely.
Okay. So most pleasure is work, real work. And most work can be made a pleasure, real pleasure. The truly industrious man or woman is seldom unhappy, for industry keeps the body healthy, the mind clear, the heart whole, and the purse full. Tired muscles produce healthful sleep. Whether those muscles were made tired with a baseball bat, a golf club, a hammer, or a hoe. The man who does not know how to work does not know how to play, and there is no pleasure in life for such a man. See? And the first thing necessary to happiness and to ultimate independence is for each man to find his proper calling in life. Oh, well, my job is my life. When you get fired from your job, you're going to go kill yourself? When you can do something better than anybody else, you are acquiring power. And if you can do this easily and pleasantly, this is your calling. That's what Sopranos was all about. Them brothers came together for a reason. A conglomerate, a nation, a fraternal order. One of the greatest men who died under Louisiana was fond of quoting, "Blessed is that man who has found his work." Most of us know that we cannot win a place in this world and hold it without performing our fair share of the world's work. That's why in the biblical scriptures it said a workman is due his hire. When people say, well, should this person get paid? If this person is doing the work and money's being exchanged for the work, why not? Work brings its reward in the form of good health, happiness, prosperity, and a competence for other later years. That's what this is about. Shorter hours and higher pay is coming to the man who can produce more in an hour. When people be like, oh man, I work 60 hours a week. So, and I know some people work 10 and produce the same. The world's needs must be satisfied, your needs and mine. And everyone must produce his limit and urge his fellow to produce their limits to the end that we shall all have more money, more leisure, and more happiness. Because that's when you create, you have the time, and brothers don't have the time to create. I know brothers that work 3 jobs, they don't have a slug. I know brothers that make way more than me, they don't have a slug. They ain't stored up a penny. They ain't had no breaks in their work. I said, you don't got no nuts. No, you don't got no cashews, no almonds, or nothing stored up. No, man, if something happened, I'm hit. But you got all these bills. You got 15 credit cards. And all of them got 10,000 worth of debt. You screwed. Everything is leased. Man, come on, man. Who we getting our advice from? So that's what I wanted to share with my brothers and sisters. I can go longer, and I share this with my brothers, the document about the sacredness of money. You can read it for yourself, because what I'm learning as I'm able to get back into my field and talk to high school students and college students, the thing that I get is they don't teach these kids how to have sound reason. The stuff that we're talking about, they don't talk about. And I want to make this common for everyone. And maybe some adults may not know and may have been taught the wrong way. That's what this is for. That's what I use this for. I'm not here to debate no one. I'm not here to argue with no one. I don't care how no one feel about me. I could care less, you know? So that's where I leave it. Do anybody have anything that they want to share? Did anybody have anything they want to add to this?
Just for educational purposes only.
Yep. Yep. And it's a biblical scripture called in Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19. And I'm quoting it, and it's wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. Wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. Don't be afraid to talk about finance and use finance as a vessel, as a key, because we own this earth plane, and everybody got beat every first of the month. You know?
Finance is a tool.
We just got to be able to get more than we get to that job. That's the biggest thing. You know, just do more than you give the job. And if you find that it's too much, then we just gotta make better decisions as far as the time.
Yeah.
If you are out there trying to somebody else, you have to be able to do it for yourself too. You have to be able to find some time to do it. And that's just what it is. You have to find the time.
Islam. And that's what I be telling everybody. They be like, well, what you do, Sheikh? I said, no. I said, I can just give nuggets what work for me. You can take pieces off me and create your own gumbo. This is what I tell people. I say, you can't go to work for 8 to 10 hours a day and just come home and kick your shoes off. That's not living. That's labor. We're talking about living to where you can create. I always tell men and women, talk to your mate. Talk to her about your aspirations and your dreams. If you can't talk to your emperors about your aspirations and your dreams, what are we together for? To pay bills? Because I can live a monk life. I tell a lot of men, if you understand finances, you can get you a studio and have that mug decked out. And a lot of people will be into their craft single. I said, so if that's the case, what's stopping you from doing that with a mate? Who's making the decisions over finance? Is these things being talked about? Are we living above our means? All these things have to be talked about when you are, how can I say, electric in your household, when you understand that you are currency. All that stuff has to be talked about when money coming in, how we going to spend it, no matter who's making the most. You know, these things have to be talked about. And this is teamwork. All this stuff is wealth decisions. All great men, and I could be wrong, and I'm just speaking for myself. All great men, you have to have a good mate with you. And I'm not saying y'all don't have ups and downs, but you have to have a good mate with you that understand your mind, that understand you, that make your house a home. That when you come home, you be like, okay, this is home. And then you live on a system to where, okay, for me, I know what my recurring bills are each month. I always ask men, do you? Because I know what my reoccurring bills are each month. Each month, I know what my reoccurring bills are. When I used to get my hair cut, I used to add that in. If any entertainment that I wanted to do in that month, take my wife out to eat, I added all that in my expenses. Because I call these some expenses reoccurring expenses. And then the other expenses, I call luxury expenses. Do I have to do this? No. Why? Because I can buy groceries and cook good and do all that. Do I want to take my wife out, enjoy life? Absolutely. But I like to spend quality, and build something and be able to share it and see something manifest. So that's what I'd like. That's what I'll be trying to share with my brothers. And my noble Malik said something a while ago as well. He said, man, I feel sorry for a lot of these men, wives and children. And he was talking about a lot of these Moors, these men that just wasting energy. I feel sorry for a lot of the women too, and the babies. I really do. I really do. You know, I'm being honest, you know, because that a lot of that energy, and, you know, you have to have strong kahunas to be on here because people can say anything. And I want to give kudos to my noble Malik as well. I know a lot of time when people be on here, me and Malik be talking, we be talking like two brothers, you know, that love each other. When he be like, Sheik, you ain't got to respond to that. And I'm like, hey, I'm just like Idris Elba on Thor, gatekeeper. Malik like, yeah, but we ain't gonna give him no mind. If we're gonna block him, we block him, but we don't give him no energy. That's wisdom coming from my noble. But even though I'm gonna say something, but I accept the wisdom, and he 100% right. When you're doing this type of work, you're gonna have all people on here. That's what social media is. It brings out the stupidness and the light in some people. But when stupidness comes, it's a way to handle it. And I just wanted to give that to my noble Malik because I'm always listening. I'm always going back in my chamber, correcting myself, and I want to give my noble kudos on that because you're right. And that's what I say about myself as a man and as a student. I always want to be around wisdom. You know, somebody can, just like if you're a comedian and somebody heckling, a comedian is going to give because they up there acting, but I'm not acting. Social media, you can just block them and give no energy. That's even worse than anything else you can do because people be wanting attention, you know? And that's what we be saying about a lot of men in this more science when I'm like, dude, that's not more science. That's criminal behavior. So I give gratitude for everyone that's here. I give gratitude for the cipher. And if anybody have any questions, this is the time. If not, like I said, I'll give a couple seconds. If not, thank you all for your time. Thank you for being here. And please come to class and join us on StreamYard. You know, join us on StreamYard. But, you know, we have to really get back to love, especially us misnomer Black men. I don't care if you're Moor, Hebrew, Israelite, because the love is messed up, man. I'm sorry. No disrespect to no one. No European don't have no power over me to do nothing. It's only men. It's only Negroes that I see disrespectful. And me being in a culture of Moor science, it's too many grown-ass men that call themselves Moors is disrespectful, and it's sad. And I'm standing on it. And that's why I'm glad I have my brothers, because I don't have to deal with a whole bunch of people on the internet. I'm happy having my nation in the nation, but a lot of these men need to go get their freaking heads checked, for real, because something is wrong with the mental process of a lot of these men on the internet. There's something wrong, for real. And the devil is busy. And even I don't believe like that, but I'm saying it like that, how the church folks say, oh, the devil is busy. These Negroes and they lower self, for real. And so I just give gratitude for y'all, man, and for this cipher. You know, what you say, Noble said, thank you all Nobles, Islam, need books, will be in your Cash App. I don't have Cash App, Noble, so please don't send nothing to Cash App. I have Zelle that's connected, that's going across the screen. I have Zelle connected to my number, which is 602-473-8767. And you can email me personally at goodmancurry@gmail.com, and I can be your personal source of anything you need. I have to share this today. I had a. Did I delete this? Almost delete. I gotta share this, man. I have to before I leave, because y'all don't be knowing a lot of stuff I be going through. So I'm gonna share it. I have a Negro hit me up, ordered a book Sufism and the Triple Rose. What's this brother name? Daryl Tomlin, and then get a refund, and then try to get a refund. Only Negroes do this, and then try to ask me a whole bunch of questions. Oh, dude, I'm from the temple. I'm from the Morrison Temple of America, and I'm an educator, and I just don't play that. Well, how old are you? Old enough, fool. See, I only get this from me. I only get this from misnomer Black people. I don't get this from Europeans that most Negroes be afraid of, because I'm their teacher. I have never had this problem. I always show this with my muftis. Everybody on the college campus got my books. All my books that I gathered and compiled, they said gathered, compiled, and divinely prepared. What I've done is take all the research in our science and made it accessible for us. Just like a master's student can take 400 pages and make it a compilation and make it 12 pages, because the average Negro attention span is only 15 damn minutes. The average Negro is not reading and studying, and this is what I'll be saying. I only get this with us, and that's why I'll be speaking like how I'll be speaking, Malik, because I do business and commerce with all people, and I never get a problem from Europeans. As long as I've been on the college campus, lecturing, selling PDF books, and doing all this, I never, ever, not one time. I got a whole Jewish community. European Jews get books from me. I got a whole Scottish Rite Masons, my professors, they whole lives get their books from me. Not one time I had nobody try to buy stuff from me and then try to hit PayPal up and say they didn't get their product, and they know they some damn ebooks. And they know they ebooks. This Negro named Daryl Tomlin. I'm gonna start calling everybody out. Every Negro that call himself, I'm gonna start calling them out, because you don't do business like that. You don't do business like that. You don't do business with me, and then you call, pay. Oh, I didn't get my book. It's my PDF books. They digital downloads. We only print and buy expensive and rare books. Where? At bindedbooks.com. That's why I don't do business with Negroes, especially a lot of these goofy Moors. No disrespect at all. And that's why real people don't make it in real life. But if I was out here scamming, saying I can nationalize you and your Social Security is attached to millions with that Roger Elvick criminal stuff, I'll be the best thing smoking. Don't nobody do Jeff Bezos like that. I don't see Negro go on Jeff Bezos when they sell our books for thousands of dollars of ebooks. I ain't seen a Negro go on Amazon and try to scam Jeff Bezos, but Negroes try to do their own brother like that. I'm calling every one of you clowns out. Daryl Tomlin. Flat out, man. This happened to me all the time. All the time, Malik, all the time. I'm gonna start calling every one of these suckers out, and they be on the internet high like they some more. I've been in Morrison for 30 years. I don't give a damn if you've been in Morrison 30 years. And this is what I be telling people, man. And it's my PDF books, and we ask people, do you know what my PDF books is? Yeah, they digital downloads. Okay, so why would you even scam? Why would we be doing it? Why do men do this and then say they Moors? And you defrauding your own brother. You just defrauded me. So you got the wisdom that I did, and you called PayPal and said that you didn't receive your item and said it's damaged. Really? So that's what we're doing. So I'm gonna start illuminating everything, because we don't do business like that. We should never do each other like that. If you don't want to freak with me, or if you ain't into what I'm talking about, you don't have to be here. And so I give gratitude for my muftis. I just want to say that, man, because Malik and muftis and Dantes and Brian, this happens all the time. All the time. And my professor was like, when I used to share this, they were like, why do Moors do this? Like, what are they doing? And the books that I'll be giving them, and I'll be printing a lot of books for people that want them printed for a Moor or for a brother to do this. It shows you character.
That's his character flaw.
What you say, nobody said, that's a clown, unfortunately. Yes, that's a clown. And then you hear how they be talking. I'll be like, dude, are you on the internet trying to be gangster? Like, please, boy, like this stuff be ridiculous. And that's why a lot of people take more science as some stupid, as some fascist group. Because you got Negroes like this that think, and they ain't never been a part of a temple. They ain't never been in a part of a temple. I'm part of the Morrison Temple of America. They probably never stepped in foot of no temple. They probably never stepped in foot of no Masonic house. And these are grown men. So I just had to share that, y'all. I really did, Malik. And I apologize for venting, but pressure busts a pipe. but I do business, and I'm thankful that y'all do business with me. And the business that I provide for people, I give to y'all, so I can't be doing those scams. Why? Because everything people buy, y'all have. Am I right, Malik?
Absolutely.
Long.
You know,
Sure do.
like somebody on here, Sydney Collins on here. I'm gonna start reading everybody comments. They say I'm black, 67. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna start leaving everybody on here reading their message, and I'm gonna start bringing my moderator on here because he said Sydney Collins, M7D, I'm black. Okay, Islam and gratitude. But that's what I'm saying. Do people get on here to be playing? Because sometimes they can be kids on here playing. Once I start showing the IP address number, like the
Go
ISBN.
ahead and look up black and law and tell me what type of what do you get out of that?
Just full of trolls.
Yeah, it's just trolls.
Lack
That's
of
what my
knowledge,
older.
you refuse to learn. That's why we don't understand what 3/5 of a person means and who that replied to.
Yeah, a
That
lot of
applies
them be
to people
trolls.
that identify as being black. So if you don't know where your other 2/5 are, then that's on you.
Yep, and a lot of people be trolls for distractions, and it just shows you how messed up we are. And people think that they can hide behind the internet. And I show people, anytime you jump on somebody's social media, you are pinging off a tower. And if I show you this, Big Brother is everywhere. I can show people where they at, and I can turn the camera on. My empress used to have Issa do this all the time, and my moderator, and I used to show people addresses. I'd be like, dude, like, why would you even do that? This is what I've been telling us.
You said a straight razor can be used for good or bad, right? You're not
Yes.
handed to a straight razor to a 3-year-old, right? Because they're gonna cut their stuff. But you're handed to a grown man that's been taught how to shave, right?
Yep.
So evidently these people have a lack of knowledge on what to do with the razor.
Yeah, understood. And you shouldn't be nowhere that you don't like. This I always try to tell grown men, don't be nowhere you don't like. Don't go to a lecture and then be a distraction. Because if you go to a real lecture, it's gonna put you out in a real way. You know, so a lot of stuff we shouldn't even be doing. And I just want to leave that, man. It's like we can't be doing business like that, brothers and sisters. If you're not into something, or if I'm not the person for you, or you like to hear to, or hear speak from, don't even, it's that. Thank you, Malik. It's that simple. When people be saying, "Oh, you ain't good sheik," and you just no, I'm not your sheik, or you
Just
not
like
know.
you clicked on, click off.
It's that simple. Because we don't disrespect preachers, we don't go to nobody church. And that's the thing about us. We don't disrespect nobody that's been lying to us. We don't go to our kids' school with all that Christopher Columbus stuff, and I don't see the parents going up there in parent conferences, going off on the teachers and all this. No, they be scary in the mud. But this is what we do. I said, dude, I feel sorry for the kids, and I feel sorry for the women. I do, because look where the energy is channeled with these men, Malik. Look where the energy is channeled. Messed up. That we do this to our own brothers and don't look at them as God men that's doing the work in the flesh. You know, it's sad. Everybody got to start something.
Well, you got to open up the hippocampus and learn. Well, the difference is somebody who doesn't want to compare and contrast means they have a cap on a jar, so you can't put nothing in it, and you can't compare and contrast to something, or you can't, flush and fill if you have a cap on a cup. You can't. You got dirty water in there. You don't even know it's dirty because it's the water you've had all your life, right? And you got a tight cap on there. The only way you can flush and fill that bad boy, you got to take the cap off. Let somebody pour some clean water in there. And until those people who have that tight cap on, loosen that cap to allow some clean water in, then you can compare and contrast and have a logical conversation, and you can get some education. You can compare and contrast. You can ask the right questions, right? We can give you answers or stuff to verify that you can go look up, and then you can come back with some more questions, and we can have dialogue. But until people open up their mind and fathom that possibly that they've been lied to, it's not even possible. It's the fact that you've been lied to and misled majority of your life, and no faults to their own, right? Because somebody taught you that. Bad habits can be unlearned. So, people have to be willing to do that. And if they're not willing to do it, that's on their own, because they're the ones who have control of the tight cap.
I have my other media with a couple of people from GCU and peace, Michael. And he said, it's ironic that a lot of these people on here, and he was like, no, I ain't never coming on y'all platform. He's like, them people is too disrespectful. But he was like, all the lecture that you speak on, he was like, you don't help all of us graduate. He was like, it's just ironic that these Moors that probably dropped out of high school are now listening to a person that's credible, that lectures. I don't understand it neither, brother. I really don't. And I just be reading things. I got another message from one of the students that I helped study. He was like, are mostly people on there black people? And I'm like, yes. He said, so if they black and you, and I'm just saying, and misnomer black like you, and you a scholar and an educator, and you give all references, what is the problem? I don't know.
The way they feel.
This is the dilemma that they talk about when he said, like, when people be like, man, why are you messing with black people? No disrespect. He's like, you're not black. He's like, this is crazy. Just like if you was going to school and I was your kid professor, you will love me. Everybody on here, if I was your kid professor, you will love me. Everyone. If I was defending you going to court, you will love me. It's no different. It should be no different. Why do we look at these other people like Jeff Bezos and all these people that got names behind them, and when we do it, when we model success, as I just talked about, it's frowned upon. And the person trying to say, you trying to make money. You go to work every day.
But you know why? Because most of the people that look like us that are highlighted by white people. And so yes. If you're highlighted by a white person, then you cannot be successful. You must be a fraud. That's why. It's just ignorant. That's all it really is. Because there's a lot of people that we're not highlighted about, that they don't tell you about in history, that had a lot of, that was good educators, but they don't talk about them, or they silence them because they're not, what is it called, proven by, white society. And that's where we go wrong.
Well, and I agree and disagree, because once again, I get that aspect of what we were taught as a people. But for myself, I'm certified and stamped by Europeans. I'm certified and stamped.
But what I'm saying is they're not coming out on the platform and saying, hey, y'all should mess with Kareem Goodman Bey. That's what I'm saying. Because
it's not their job. That's not a person's job. A person, that's not the job. And I'm glad you said that.
What I'm saying is nobody here that is white is approved you, so to speak, quote unquote, right?
Well,
in the eyes of society, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has put a stamp on you. A white person hasn't stamped and approved you in society. Nobody's saying that you're not an educator, a qualified educator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Consecrated and anointed. Nobody's not saying that. What I'm saying is nobody of white society acceptability, right, has came on us here and said, yeah, Kareem, he's this, that, and the other, right? Only people who look like you have rocked with you, right? Because we're not accepted by white society, right? And quote unquote.
I'm saying that's wrong. And I'm saying I get what you said, but that for me, for my academic endeavor, it's the reverse for me. This is what I'm trying to say. It's like
I'm saying to other people outside of this circle that are looking in, if you haven't been approved, they don't know you, right? Most people on here that commented don't know you. So if you're not approved by their social media aspect, right, on what they're used to, the lens that they're looking through, then you are not credible to them. I'm not saying that you aren't, but
I agree to what you're saying, but no, because most people that you meet on the internet, the average brother never been to academia, never been to lectures. Most brothers went to high school and quit. So when we saying it's not common, the average person, this is not common. And this is common to misnomer white folk. This is what I'm saying. Like, I've lectured at Jewish churches. I've lectured at the Masonic houses. My professor is a potentate. Most of my books come from them. One of my allies is my professor, a Jew. That's where I was doing all the lectures at when I was going to GCU in his classes. And it was packed with you. And so what I'm saying, I'm agreeing with what you're saying. What I'm saying, that's the dilemma that we have as a people, where this is not common. What's common with black folks is religion and arguing and TikTok. And I agree with what you're saying, because most people, the average person, the brother, they post TikTok stuff. Just like if I was a part of something, I'm gonna post what I know. I'm gonna post for myself. Like, that's all I'm saying. And most of the people that I deal with, they don't do that because they actually go to the lectures and they have the wisdom. And that's all I'm saying. A lot of stuff that we know about
just to be miserable.
Yeah, I agree. Like Bobby Hemmett, all that stuff, Dr. Ben, those was lectures that they were doing. And so when I tell people we digress, Bobby Hemmett, those were lectures. Those were lectures that the brother was doing. Today, brothers never went to lectures. And those was campus. All those elders was educated.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. So they didn't get the wisdom because they woke up and did it with blacks. No, hell no. All those books and everything Bobby Hemmett talk about come from Harvard, Oxford, come from the Gnostic libraries. This is what I'm saying, but I agree with what you're saying, Malik. I'm trying to make what's not common for us. But I agree. I agree totally 100% with you. 100. Like here it is, somebody that said he was like, shit, you damn sure don't need one of them professors from GCU to stamp you. You already been stamped. You got your degree from there. Doing dissertations. That's the only stamp of approval that anybody should need when they look you up. They're like, they see you do lectures. They were like, and this is the thing with us when I say we're stiff-necked people, because we still be wanting proof, and it's like, what proof? It's like on that movie Jay-Z created, Clarence. I forget the book of Clarence. When the white man, the European, cleaned himself up, everybody thought he was Jesus. He wasn't nothing but a damn bum. He cleaned himself up and put some garments on. Everybody like, oh, look at Jesus. They giving him money.
Oh, what's the thing you sent in the text thread with the art in Europe, black art in Europe, W.E.B. Du Bois Center in Harvard, University of Harvard.
Yeah.
That you see, they just what was it? Yeah, art, right? Black art in Europe.
Just now?
Yeah, you sent it today.
Oh yeah. I got the whole video. I sent y'all the emails and all this stuff. Okay. So you got Henry Louis Gates and the images of black in Western art and all the stuff in Harvard. And I got all the books. Now, I'm glad you said that. Since you said it,
that started in 2000. That came up in 2010. They said it was created in 2010.
I lectured all this in the African American department at GCU. I got all the books. I went through every volume. It's like 11 volumes. I went through every one. So no European is going to get on here and argue with me. If they're a European Mason or Scottish Rite, they know I know. Especially if they're in Arizona. They know I know. Why? Because I have the charter and they know I'm qualified. It's just Negroes. And I ain't worried about that. And that's the dilemma.
And that's what I'm worried about Negroes.
It's 11 volumes. And some of them on Amazon for crazy price, but I got them all. I'm almost done converting them, and I'll send them all to you. The first volume is The Image of the Blacks in Western Art, Volume 1, from the Pharaohs to the Fall of the Roman Empire. That's one. And you see the pictures. You see the pictures. Then they got Volume 2. They go Volume 2. You see who that is on the cover of Volume 2?
No, I really can't make that out.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I think I sent it to y'all in an email and I sent y'all the films. You got all this stuff. It's all different blacks in different time. Just like in Europe, in Russia, just like Vladimir Dale. You were everywhere. Yeah. And then you got the blacks. You got the Volume 3 from the Age of Discovery, and that's where Golden Age of the Moors be talking about. Like all these pictures in books. These are the volumes. It's already been done. So when people be like, oh, something new, yes, it's new to the average Negro because this is academia. This is in the archives. This is all I'll be saying. I'll be like, none of this stuff is new. When they be put it out, it came out in 2010, but we already had this. And that's all I'm saying. It's like none of this stuff is new. It's only new for people that hasn't been in academia or had good teachers like myself and the teachers that I had. And so when information come like this to misnumbered black people, we don't know. Because a lot of us haven't did advanced studies. A lot of us don't go to libraries. We get all our information off TikTok. Yeah. And that's just the truth.
And the funny thing is you can't get some information off TikTok, right? And just go verify the information, see if it's good, if it's right, compare and contrast. Yeah. That's what a good researcher would do, right?
I mean, you could, but I wouldn't, I'm just talking about myself. I ain't getting no information off no TikTok because for me,
if you're scrolling, right? Just for average person just scrolling, he's like, oh, that sounds like some good information. Before you go regurgitate the information, go look it up.
Absolutely.
See if you can verify it.
And then you got to know how to look it up because Wikipedia is not a source. See a lot, and that's how I always tell people it's a way to research. It's a way. A person to go right to Wikipedia and I'll be like, see, if you was taking a class with me, I'm gonna fail you. I know you went to Wikipedia. I know that's what you do.
Write something on there or something.
You know, it's a way to study. And that's not academia. So in academia, when I say peer-reviewed scholarly research, it has to be agreed with scholars, no matter what color you are, no matter what religion you are. That's why when I speak for things and I say this is just not common to Moors and to Hebrew Israelites, because they just arguing over idea, or they just arguing over what they think and not break it down in linguistics or language. They in a belief system. It's no study to that. And I don't have time to do that. I'm not doing that. That's for me. I'm not going to waste no energy into those things, debating or having someone come here and show me I'm credible or say this. And all the Europeans that I show videos, they'll be like, why do y'all need me? He right there telling y'all. Like all the videos that I show Europeans telling y'all that they Anglo-Saxons, teaching the truth about history. I mean, they like, dude, what more can we say? You know, I just use that for reference, you know, to be like, well, I'm not the only one saying it. Here you go. So the stuff need to come from my brothers and sisters. That's what I'm saying. This needs to be common to us. And I agree with what you said. We need to research what a person is saying and don't be all butthurt. Because you want to do that to your teacher. I never seen no one go, Malik, all of us, anybody that grew up, I ain't seen nobody go back to their schools or talk to no teacher and say, you know, all that Christopher Columbus stuff and talk to them. I ain't never seen nobody debate no teachers or nothing. None.
I don't think that, honestly, you know why? It's pointless, right? It's pointless because they have a curriculum. So to argue with them on something that they have to do because that's their job. I'd like come and argue with, you know, somebody working at McDonald's. Why you not doing flame broil? You know what I mean? Hamburgers. I'm argue with you. You should be doing flame broil. Well, that's not McDonald's system. They do fried on a flat grill, on a flat plate. You know what I mean? It's just pointless.
I agree 100%. And that's why I said, you know, with me, when I met all y'all and I said, I come from a place where a lot of information will be shared. The average person won't know. And so my professor was saying, well, you just coming off the throne, bringing stuff back to your people as a map and a guide should. And I'm like, yes, because in academia, when I had to be matter-factual. I had to give my references and my sources from peer-reviewed scholarly research, regardless. So that's why it's hard for me, and I'm just being honest, to deal with different facets of Moors that come from this and come from these ideas. It's just hard because they're not basing it on wisdom. It's just being based on how you feel, and how you feel can be wrong. And a lot of brothers are wrong, you know. I'm just being honest. You know, I agree TikTok is a good tool, but man, I need some references, and I need some real life application as well. You know,
right?
So that's all I have. But these ciphers be great, and we be using this for people can talk. That's what we're done. We be using this for anybody that asks anything or express anything that they have on their heart as we close. Because if not, then I hope we all in agreement. You know, it's just the time for people to ask for anything that they need or books that they reference or any questions. And this is what I was able to do in academia. And that's why I'll be matter-factual when I give so many references, because this is how I was educated to prove what I'm saying, regardless how anyone feel. And a lot of us, we get into these characters, we get into these groups and say, oh, well, or Nobuju Ali this and that. I said, man, that's great. That's all great. You know, that's great. Oh, what such and such didn't do, that's great. That's great too. But like Malik said, I ain't putting no cap on. Can't nobody put no cap on my wisdom, and I'm damn sure ain't putting no cap on your wisdom. That ain't happening. Period. I don't give a damn what no Negro say, because this ain't the Moorish Science Temple. This is the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. That's what this is. We got our own charter. There ain't no Negro over us. I'm from the temple, and that's where it stops. I created a school for no one will have no cap. And for my noble like Malik can teach and continue to show people what this science is about in real life. So that's all I got, nobles.
Well, appreciate you. Gratitude. Always gratitude. And the education.
I appreciate you more. And like telling people, you keep me sharp, Malik. That's what I tell people, man. You know, you have to be around brothers that hold you accountable and keep you sharp and always keep your, how can I say what Malik always does? And I have to give him this, his empathy, you know, on all situations, you know, and I think in everything in life, we have to look at things from that aspect. How are we making other people feel? You know,
Well,
could
see,
I
I'm
do this
also
better?
looking out for you because I know how you are, right? I know you.
Mhm.
I know what you're about, what your mission is, and sometimes just because we are emotional, we can get thrown off our, our path due to others' interactions. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I do understand what your mission is, so I'm trying to keep you on that mission. Our mission is not to. We don't want to misconstrue and show people that we're here to debate and bang everybody head over the head. That's not what we're here for. So, and I know
Mhm.
sometimes your passion, you can get caught up, and I know
Mhm.
that. So I just want to keep
Mhm.
you on your mission. And, how I met
Mhm.
you, I was driven. You drove me, So I just want to keep you, aim going forward. Choo train to not hop off the tracks.
Yeah. Somebody behind me throwing me, talk about some love you, man. Yeah, yeah, I love y'all too.
So I just want to keep you on the tracks, man.
Gratitude, man. And it's just like I said, that's what a team is about. And this is what a team is about. Accountability, you know, to keep people square. I love it. I love this. I love my brotherhood. And everyone that's on here that want to learn, our doors are open. I share everything with you, no matter what it is. We're not gatekeepers. We have so much to offer, and we welcome. Our doors are open. No matter if you whatever you agree with, you don't have to agree with the more science. You can get to learn about it, you know, if
Right.
you want. But this is a safe place because a lot of people may have heard stuff about more science. They may know a little something. They may be afraid to say some things. This is the safe place. And that's why I ask people to ask anything. Because, like Malik said, it's easy to take some things off TikTok and now research it and get in trouble. I agree. I agree. Noble said, somebody said, Malik, how do I go about paying the BBT as far as my taxes are concerned? I
All you
mean,
gotta do is
five.
donate. Get a tax
So,
exempt receipt.
I, like once again, even though we get ready to close, we lecture this so many times. I'll give this analogy, and this is for anyone. It don't have to be BBT. And my Mufti's here to add on. Anytime you are part of an organization that's tax exempt for the federal government, that's religious, charitable, scientific, educational wise, you are tax exempt for the federal government. So when you are donating your funds, and I'm just using it as a church per se, you are able to get a tax exempt receipt. Now, depending on how much you make, you can file exempt because you'll be doing those numbers yourself. Depending on what state you live in, it's a certain amount that you have to donate to Uncle Sam or your religious charitable contribution of your choice to offset your taxes. That's for you to know. Once you understand that, you donate that to your religious and charitable contribution as your choice, and you get a tax exempt receipt at the end of the year to give to your tax preparer. Because the whole idea is to give Uncle Sam less and build infrastructure because you can own your religious community and you have your own bylaw, and that's what this is about. And that's how we can have our own religious neighborhoods. That's how we can have our own temples in our neighborhood. We can own things in our stores and we can barter. How? Because we're doing business together, because everything we do is tax exempt.
What
Even the
was their
company
question
that we
again,
own.
Scoop?
Huh?
What was their question again?
He said, how do I go about paying the BBT as far as my taxes are concerned? I mean, file exempt. And I would just use it, and I say, one, you would want to be part of BBT. It's like you would want to be part of a church. Just like some people would donate just for tax purposes. But most people that's part of religious organizations, they donate monthly to get that tax exempt receipt. You know, so if a
You got to
person
be
wanted
part.
to,
You got to be part of
so
an organization.
yes, you want to be. Now you can donate to anything, but I would want to
Well,
because
his question was because that's why I wanted you to read it again, because he's talking about being exempt on his
yeah, yeah,
tax. You have to be
yeah.
part of a religious organization, and the religious organization is the one that has to be cutting your check, or you're getting paid through the religious organization. If not,
Well,
he has a regular 9 to 5. He can
yeah,
donate and write
yeah,
those off. But if you have a regular
yeah.
9 to 5, you're not going to be able to exempt all your stuff unless you know how to offset your taxes. That person should go talk to a tax preparer.
And you should not want to. And see, this is the thing about this stuff. A lot of people don't got this stuff so misconstrued.
Yeah.
Number one. Once again, and I'm blaming social media. I'm going back. I said most people are asking these questions because they see these people on the internet saying you can do this and you can act like you a minister and do all this and the Amish do all this. That's where all this shit come from. So let's just be 100% straight up. Most Negroes, they be doing their taxes, they be filing fake taxes. They be using their aunties and uncles to try to file fake taxes. Number one, when you are a part of any religious organization, you are tax exempt for the federal government. That's religious, charitable, scientific, educational wise. I don't give a damn if you work for the church or not. That's and that's how you support your religious contribution. And just like if you was a rich person, just like basketball players, you might make 10 million a year and you owe Uncle Sam $1 million a year. If you're rich and you understand what's going on in the community and you connect it to an organization, you can donate to that organization, get a tax exempt receipt, and that'll fulfill your tax obligation based off how much you make. So in the state of California, you can donate 60% of your earned income to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice before taxes. This is what I tell people. So if you have everybody doing that, that's how you build infrastructure. That's how you got your schools. That's how you got your temples. That's how you got your housing. All that through the money that you're going to give Uncle Sam anyway. That sits in the private banking system. That's how the Jews win it. That's what Sopranos was showing everybody. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. And and you can't be scamming. It have to be done the right way. So when people ask me these things, it got to be done the right way. That's all. Because I know when some people be asking me, how can they do this to avoid paying taxes? I said, ain't no way you can avoid paying nothing. You either gonna donate it or you're gonna pay it. It's just and that's all I have for people. What? You either gonna donate it to your religious or charitable contribution of your choice, or Uncle Sam gonna take it out your check. And depending on what state you live in, it's a certain amount of money that you can donate to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice. Point blank.
Yep.
But once again, this is not common to us. What's common to us is TikTok and to these characters saying, "Oh, your son could have never just talked to this." That's what's common to the Negroes. I'm not, because I teach the truth. I'm academia. That's why nobody will come to me and say he lying. They can't, because I'm illuminated. And I get a prosecutor attorney to come right here and be like, "Man, this man been telling you the truth. Do people going to jail? Every one of them. And they're using the internet to break the law." That's a RICO. So that's what I try to tell brothers and sisters. So I hope we understand it. But if you want to support something and you're serious about what you're doing, you have your religious organization. And you support it by donations, your dues and offerings. And at the end of the year, you get a tax exempt receipt. Now, the last dilemma I'll talk about is in-kind service, which what my nobles do. I'll talk about that. Now, Malik is our trainer. I got other people that run our StreamYard and do all that. So say if we had our physical building, all these are our ministries. Malik is the minister of health and wellness. Gatez does our books and do broadcasts and audio and visual. Maso too. You know, Lamar, everybody have their things. Alonzo does our web pages. So I don't have all the funds to pay them. What I can do is give them a stipend for their time and write the rest up as in-kind service. And so at the end of the year, they'll be getting a tax exempt receipt from their tithes and their offering, and they'll get a monetized receipt, and it had a in-kind service on it. And so it'll be 3 donations on there. This is what I'm talking about, how we build infrastructure. This is how to do things. And I took tax law. I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I get a tax prepared tax lawyer, I'm a tax attorney. I got a tax attorney number right here. He was like, "Well, what they want me for? Just to shake my head every time you say something?" I was like, "Yeah, because that's all Negroes want." He was like, "Well, all I'm be doing is shaking my head every time you say something." He's like, "I'm be wasting my time." I'm like, "No, you ain't." Sometimes people just think that means a lot.
Well, what
just
you
like
said was a lot. Though. What you said was a lot, though.
Yeah.
And for I'm gonna speak only for me. Like, it took me some time to wrap my head around what you were saying, right? Even though you said it right now, I understand exactly what you mean, but it took time for me to wrap my head around. So when you're saying it right now, just to people just hearing it, That's why I tell them, go talk to a tax preparer and ask them these specific questions the way that they heard it. So if you have to play rewind, play this bad boy to get all of what you just said down, you're going to need to do that when you go talk to a tax preparer. Don't just think that you can regurgitate everything you just heard here and go talk to somebody right away. Play rewind, write it down, and then ask these specific questions.
Malik, oh, see, once again, if we were playing football, you'll have stickers. So it's a thing called, in law, you have the person that's there for your best interest, or your legal representative that's going to look up precedent in law cases, doc number, Free Information Act. That's what I am. Look how many people done got their taxes done, don't ask a goddamn thing. Look how many people go to the doctor, don't ask the doctor a goddamn thing. So for a person, a regular person, no disrespect on here, you're not gonna ask your tax attorney nothing. You're gonna let them tell you everything, and you're supposed to tell them everything. See, that's the dilemma that I know. The average Negro ain't gonna ask a tax preparer too diddly. Because why? Most people be doing churches all their life, and you paying taxes twice. You ain't asked a tax preparer, if I donate to my church, should my church give me a tax exempt receipt? Anybody never asked. So I know people don't ask this stuff. That's why I be here to say, ask this, ask this. If you have a tax attorney or someone, ask this, ask this. And then a person can come back, like Malik said, and say, well, I asked my tax attorney this, or this tax professional this, and they said XYZ, XYZ. Because number one, they're gonna know you talk to somebody that's educated. Why? Because I'm coming with the right process. They're gonna say yes, yes, yes. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I guarantee you. So I agree with everything my Mufti said. You have to have enough spirit and a higher self to ask these questions. You can come to class and take all the notes you want, and then come to my class and I say everybody got their notes and still fail the test. How? Because you got to apply what you know. You might not have enough time to go through all that. You ain't read the notes to ask certain questions to get it all set. That's what I'd be saying. We go into things and everything be, ooh, I didn't know that. Ooh, I didn't know that. And I'll be telling everybody, why don't you know that? You come to class and like Malik said, now go somewhere else with some information with that professional that you've been having doing your tax. And another thing, the tax preparer not going to know this. They might not, they may know a little, but they are tax prepared. They preparing. They're not tax attorneys. They're not tax lawyers. They're just doing your taxes based off what you've given them.
Yeah. Most of them are going to put their numbers in the number crunching system. That's it.
Yep. They crunching numbers. You put this in, you tell me this. You got all these fake social security numbers you done got from your cousin, and you got your cousin kids and their grandkids, and you claiming all of them, and on the taxes, then somebody else did it. That's what them niggas be doing. So it's a way to do everything the right way, and that's all she be saying. It's a way to do things the right way. And if you want to be part of BBT and come learn, you're more than welcome. But that is a perk of being a part of BBT. That I do give out taxes and receipts to all my brothers and sisters, what they donate and their time, because their time is valuable for me. All the brothers, I couldn't do this without them. But just imagine when we get our brick and mortar again and all my Muftis move to the same area. And now we really be doing this. It really be magnified even there. It's so many ways to take advantage of ministry, but we don't educate ourselves on this stuff. It's so much I know, y'all. How, like Malika tell you, how we set up businesses, and I register on the Duns & Bradstreet, and I show you how to have your own line of bid credit, and you can take yourself off, and then you start operating as your business. You start doing business as your business, for profit or nonprofit, and build your business line of credit by doing regular stuff. That's a strategy. That's a scheme, not a scheme. A scheme is how to do things, not a scam. How to build business line of credit. And then you operate as a business. I teach this strategy. I got a business degree. So everything that I teach you, I say, I will educate you on this. Your paperwork got to be right first. And I guarantee you, everybody I deal with, they be like, yes, this man is credible. That's what I'm saying. So I love y'all, man. And thank you for that question, Noble, about taxes. But it's like Malik said, it's way more to go with that. We just answered it a little bit. But that's why I challenge people to come to class, and then y'all ask me. And that's another thing I have to say. When I used to do lectures, a lot of the students asked me to speak on specific topics, like these tax codes, like allodial deeds. When these brothers be on the internet talk about, oh, I got a allodial deed in my house. No, you don't. If you live in a neighborhood, you don't pay your property taxes. I'm gonna look you up on a state charter, and I'm gonna tell you how many months behind you on your property tax. So that's cap. I show you what a load of your deed is all about, and it don't have nothing to do with no house nobody built. That somebody financed, the bank did. The bank still own it, and you don't own the land. So all the stuff you have to know, and that's what Malik is saying. You want to know this before you go with anything and be like, damn, I didn't know. You can't do that in the court. There's no excuse of not knowing the law in the court of law. It's no excuse. I promise y'all. And this is why I tell people, you do anything, educate yourself first. So with that being said, thank you so much, Malik, for your sharpness and for your degree. And just thank all y'all, man, that's here. And let's just keep these vibrations positive. And if anybody don't have any other questions, y'all know my email. Y'all can hit me up. We respond. But yes, Noble, we deal with that at the BBT. I'm not afraid to talk about finances. If we can build our brick and mortar with the money that we give away, I can give everybody a tax-exempt receipt, and we can own our infrastructure. I promise y'all, and hold me accountable. So with that being said, thank you, and I love y'all, man. Peace.
Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night, by day. He was Holy Prophet, through Ali. Amen. Ashay, Shalom Aleichem, Ash'ar, Islamism. Peace, 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 peace.
Peace.
I got our benediction if nobody else has it.
Oh, I got it up, shoot.
Gratitude. But y'all blame it on Malik for having us go longer. We was done in an hour, y'all. So y'all blame Malik. Jump in his inbox.
Islam. Another powerful message.
Gratitude.
And our benediction reads as follows. May the benefit of Allah be upon thee and thine always, as thou shouldst strive to be a credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thy acts of love upon thine brethren, and do the best to shun thine evil ones. Remember to take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you might nourish the souls of men. Let truth be the shield in the manifest battle of falsehood. Know that Moors need not to pick the lock to the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal theft. For behold, the key to salvation already rests within thine own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconsistency, there is still the greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah protect thee, guide thee, preserve thee, lengthen thy age, and give thee everlasting peace. Erakam, Erakmin, Yahak, Yamud, Islam. Amen. Peace. 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 Peace.
Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace.
Islam.
Peace, man.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dreams. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't. Really, it ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun, it's an everyday thing. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay